Mind your P's and Q's, everybody. We're on permanent record now. So good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to March episode of our PTA General Meeting. I think at this point I don't need to introduce myself anymore, but just in case, Danny Torres, he, him, his, PTA president this year. As always, thanks for having me. Thanks for spending a chunk of your evening with me and listening to all the happenings that we've got going on with the PTA. First and foremost, we'll always want to start off with the positive, some shout outs and wins. Starting off, I want to call out the middle school exchange students from Spain. I don't know if everybody got a chance to see some of the pictures that were posted online of all the fun and adventures that group went on, but it looked like an absolute blast. I know here in our house, Lori and I are excited for the day that it's our turn to be able to host some of these exchange students. So, Zaina especially, because I saw a lot of your pictures, awesome job making Collinswood such a welcoming place for them and for treating our exchange students so well.
It was fun, and thanks to Miss Burgess for getting that going back up and going, since we haven't done it since before COVID.
Awesome. All right, Sherry, I'll kick it over to you to talk about the Jamboree.
All right, I was just finding the notes here. All right, so Priscilla wasn't able to be on the call tonight, so I talked to her for a little bit. She killed it. She's been doing it, I don't know if it was before me, but this is the third year I know of that she's done it. She's learned through doing this so much, and there's been challenges, and if you guys have any feedback you would like to give her, I will drop her email in the chat. But I just wanted to point out, or toss around rather, she wanted me to kind of kick it to the crowd. They're considering, they had some food left over, and that can be a challenge of knowing about how many people are going to come. Usually between volunteers and everyone attending, it's around 400 people. So the thought is maybe next year, keep this on your radar. When the invites go out, there will be a lower price. And then 2 weeks before the dance, the price is going to go up a little bit. So they want to try to they want to try to encourage as many people as they can to get their ticket ahead of time so they can plan for food. So have that on your radar. And there didn't seem to be many middle schoolers, but that seems to have been happening. Next year, more exciting theme that they're kicking around is outer space. So seems pretty cool.
Seems out of this world.
You got the good stuff. What are you drinking over there? Okay, so dance was awesome. If anyone wants to join in on the fun for next year, or if you want to give her any feedback, even with some of the stuff I just told you, please feel free. I'm going to drop that in the chat now. Oh, I'll actually drop it in the chat in a minute because I'll move on to Black History Month. I think I saw Crystal on here. I haven't looked through everyone that's on the meeting yet, but huge shout out to Crystal, Marie, and Sean Fling. She and Dr. Fling really, I gently was hoping that they would take this on this year because they've shown great initiative for the months prior, and they did, and our kids got to do a lot of cool things. The Living History Museum seemed to be a really big hit. That's going to be a favorite 5th grade thing for our 5th graders to do each year. We had door decorating. We had on the news most days, there would be a little spiel from a local local person, whether it was like the Mecklenburg County Health Department, epidemiologist, or some of our local city and county officials. It was really cool. And we did a lot of new stuff, and I hope they will lead it next year. No pressure, but you'll be hearing from me in November. So thank you.
It was a lot of, I'll just say briefly, it was a lot of fun. I wasn't able to attend a lot of the activities, but I did, when I was doing the teacher appreciation with Jamie, I did get to see all of the really, really cool door decorations. I was really impressed. And it also gave me a nice chance to peek. It seemed like even the specials all got involved. So it looked really good. And I'm really grateful to all the parents and teachers that supported.
Yay! Yes, thank you, girls, so much, and to everyone on the Black History Committee. It was great, and the admins that supported us. So thank you all. I would drop Priscilla's name in the chat.
Thanks, Sherry. To add to kind of both of those, these on Sunday morning, I didn't get a chance to go to the dance because somebody changed their mind last minute. But Sunday, I was at a birthday party with fellow Collinswood parents, and the jamboree was the talk of the town. Everybody was super excited about how well it went, how much fun the kids had, how much fun parents had. There's a lot of comments about how many people actually dressed up in the Western theme, so that was really cool to hear. So you're really excited to kind of continue this theme of inclusivity and welcoming and community within Collinswood. So big thanks to Priscilla for that. And then to add what Sherry said about the Black History Month thing, it was great to kind of feel the school come alive as you're walking through and seeing all of the art and the displays, and then seeing the pictures of the Living Museum. It was really great to see. So thanks to everybody for continuing to make things like that possible and make the school such a great place for the families and for the kids. I actually had a parent mention to me that in 9 years that they've been with the school, that this is the most they've ever seen done from the PTA as far as kind of involvement and things that are going on, events for families, events for students. So it's all possible through teamwork. So thanks to everybody for being involved, and thanks for continuing to be involved. Oh, and I think Principal Modine is here right on time. We'll see if I can put her on the spot. Miss Modine, did you sign in?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, you are right on time. We're going through our shout outs and wins. Would you like to say anything about the academic nights? Because that's exactly where we are in the agenda.
I think it was a huge success. I mean, we had more parents than we ever expected, especially in middle school, because a lot of times in middle school, parents don't come to academic nights, and we had a huge turnout. And I think having our Black History Month museum at the same time brought a lot of people in that maybe wouldn't have come to one of our meetings. So it was very helpful to have that, to get people into the building. The other thing is shout out to the PTA for the pizza, because that was a big win, and the food trucks, because people were able to feed their kids and themselves. So that was awesome.
Thank you very much. All right.
And
moving on.
hopefully, the other thing I was going to add is hopefully parents walked away with ideas of how they can help their kids at home, because that was the whole purpose of the meeting, was to try to get, to create opportunities for parents to understand how they can help their kids, because a lot of times that's the question that we get. So that was also a big win.
Awesome. That's really good to hear. Definitely some of the parent chatter that I've seen and heard, that academic night was very much appreciated and very well attended, like you mentioned.
As was the childcare.
Yes, childcare was clutch.
100%.
Let the kids run around in the gym and annoy each other, so mom and dad and parents and guardians can all just focus on the teachers.
I will say
Yep.
though, for the younger grades, it was a little confusing because apparently they were supposed to go to class, show us their stuff. So if there's a way to kind of clarify that in the future, that'd be awesome.
Point
Like we dropped
understood.
off and then had to come pick back up. So we're like, oops, sorry. So anyway, that there may be a cutoff for grades when that's appropriate or not, but be good to communicate that.
Got it. We will make sure we clarify that for next year.
But we enjoyed, so thank you.
And I'm sorry, I'm late. Just so that people know, I'm late because I'm like in between two meetings because I'm trying to attend the board meeting and the PTA meeting. So I'm kind of like back and forth.
You can probably tune out for a little while now out of this one if you want.
Well, and if that's what I
Committee
was
review.
going to say, if anything comes up, like if you guys need me to answer anything, now is the time because there's some things going on at the board meeting that I kind of need to be there too. So absolutely, if you have any questions, now's the time.
All right, let's hear them. Who's got questions for Ms. Modine? Going once, going twice.
Okay, wait. Okay. Ms. Modine, you said something that was kind of mind-blowing to me that I think I would be surprised if two people on this call knew this. When we were chatting at the dance, and we can talk about this more in depth, but I think it's worthwhile to keep on everyone's radar. We are a dual language school. We are not technically in the world languages track. Do you have like 90 seconds to just explain what the difference is? And the only reason why I bring that up is because I think if people want to keep an eye on things like what CMS discusses, when they are discussing maybe changes and such to world language curriculum, that doesn't always involve us, or maybe they kind of think it does, but it's not doing what's best for Collinswood. Okay, I'm probably doing a terrible job. You go.
No, I appreciate you bringing that up because I was actually talking to the principal at Sale today about this. So we are different than Sale. And I think sometimes people don't realize that. I think they have immersion through 8th grade for some of their languages, but Spanish is not one of them. And so the only dual language schools in CMS are Collinswood, Charlotte East Language Academy, and Oaklawn. We are the only dual language schools. And so that means that we only have Spanish and English. But in a world language school, they have multiple languages going on. And so they have, like at Sale, they have Chinese, Japanese, and I think German. I think those are the 3 languages they have. Once kids get to 6th grade, they can enter into a Spanish class where they take Spanish as a class. They don't have immersion where they're teaching content in the target language. So we, the 3 of us, are the only ones that have a continuation in middle school where kids take Spanish in middle school and they have content language classes like math and science that are in the content language. So that's kind of a confusion for people because they wonder why kids can't just transfer into Collinswood in 6th grade. And it's because our program is a continuation. So we continue teaching Spanish all the way through middle school. When they get to high school, they then go to either Garinger or South Meck, where they have what they call a world language continuation. It's not dual language. And so I don't know if I'm answering that question, but that's kind of where we are. Kids can opt into dual language when they're at Huntingtown Farms, which is also another school, but they only have K-5. And so any kids continuing in dual language would come to us more than likely to continue that program.
And I think with dual language, if I understand it correctly, that like how we do it, having Spanish always being taught in our target language, math and science, the other, like the world language programs don't do that. They have their language class, and they have maybe like if you're
A
in
cultural
French,
class or
like
something like
cultural,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
And so, yeah, I forgot about French. I forgot
oh, yeah.
that Sale has French, but I don't think their French is a continuation into middle school.
So just interesting. I thought you guys all wanted to know that. Maybe tell your friends if they're interested. We're special, and that's why we're special. And just, kind of keep your eyes and ears peeled whenever the board wants to do things to world language programs, because it might not
Yes.
always be most beneficial for us.
Correct, because we are dual language. We are not world language program.
Mhm.
And
Ms. Moody, I had a question
piggybacking
for
off
you.
of that, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
I was just going to bring up the Huntingtown Farms. Like, I'm not sure if everybody is aware that is now, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Collinswood is now the feeder school for middle school from Huntingtown Farms if they continue to do Spanish after 5th grade.
It's not necessarily a continuation, but if kids are interested in continuing that program, they would come to us, or one of the other dual language immersion programs.
Okay.
Ms. Moody, I was going to ask, I was looking at the magnet space available, and I saw that there was space available almost every grade, but definitely, kindergarten at all of the dual language programs. And I was just curious if there's been a drop off, or if you've heard anything in the, I don't know, if the magnet officers community in general about people's interest or lack thereof. I feel like Collinswood and other schools were always packed, and maybe had a wait list or at least filled up or something like that. So I'm just curious if there's anything that's changed that might have caused us to have space available for kindergarten and even other grades.
If I'm not mistaken, because I haven't looked at it today, but I'm pretty sure our kindergarten's full. And so we are not in that situation. We do have a full kindergarten for next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I looked a couple days ago, so I'm not sure how recent that list was, but.
And so if kids are accepted into the lottery program and they don't accept, then they would go to the wait list. I mean, like, we would go to the wait list and fill all of those seats.
Okay.
We are very fortunate because we are pretty, compared to the other two schools, we're pretty full.
I think you're right, Ms. Modine. Ruth did tell me within the past couple of days, it is waitlisted for kindergarten.
Yeah. And we're very fortunate because our kids don't leave the program as much as at other schools.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that it was more at the other schools, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty passionate about dual language, and I feel like it's really important, especially in our city. It's definitely a need across Charlotte.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, we don't want to keep you, Ms. Modine.
I'm hanging out for a little while because I'm waiting for some other things to come up. So we're good.
Hey,
Awesome.
Principal Modine.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Ross. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Ross?
I'm great, thanks. Just for the benefit of the broader group, could you just talk through the situation with the soccer field, and I think more importantly, just the impact to some of the middle school sports in terms of where they're going to practice and play. Just want to make sure that the broader team is aware of that.
So we're very lucky that Montclair's principal has her child at our school. And so our kids have a place to go and practice. They practice actually at Montclair every day. And we have a bus that takes the kids over to Montclair. So as far as practice goes, they're fine. The only problem we're running into, because we don't have a field, because there's an irrigation pipe that broke under the field that flooded the field, and it's unplayable. And so all of our games have to be away games. at this point until they come out and fix it, which we don't have a timeline. CMS has not given us a timeline on that. So
Right. So will Montclair host any games for us? Will that be our quote
No.
unquote home field? Okay, they'll be true away games.
correct. And so at Montclair, all of our practices are there because they have the facilities to be able to play on the fields, but we don't have the facilities to host games.
Gotcha.
So we're working with CMS on that. I don't see it, honestly, I don't see it happening during the soccer season. It's probably going to have to be something over the summer because it's pretty extensive, the repairs they have to do. And so we have a plan, all of our games, we've already worked with the schools that we feed in, that we're playing against. And they're going to have the games there.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good option to fall back to.
Right, because I was like, somebody needs to come up with a plan because our kids need a place to practice and play. And they've given us a place for us to practice. And now we have a place to play. We just have to play all the games away. And CMS is providing transportation for all of that.
Yeah, of course, as they should.
Yep.
Okay. Unfortunate timing. I was looking forward to kind of carrying the momentum we had around the home basketball games through to the spring sports season, but you know, maybe we can stay on top of it this summer as you know, the plan to fix the field or whatever the actual issue is, and maybe we can get slightly better sort of field quality out of this whole thing when it's all said and done.
Absolutely. And that's a priority. It's because we have a full soccer team for boys and girls. And so we have to give them the opportunity to play.
Yep. And just let us know how we can be helpful when the time is right on that initiative. I know we have, in addition to myself, a few other folks in orbit around the PTA who would be interested in helping with that project.
Sounds like a plan to me. And I guess I'm spoiled because I came from McAlpine where we had Charlotte Soccer Academy, like kept up our fields, maintained the fields, had a deal with CMS. And so that's kind of where I'm going next year. Is like, we've got to come up with a community partnership that's going to keep up our fields and make them high quality.
That's exactly what I would want to work on. And I think I can speak for a few other parents who would be interested in that.
Sounds like a plan.
Dominique, you've got your hands up.
Hey, yeah, so since it sounds like that we're gonna have issues with the field kind of continuing on for the rest of the year, are we gonna is the school gonna need any kind of extra support in pivoting and making some like workarounds for field days then, since we won't actually have a field?
That I'm working with, I really want to move field day till the end of the school year, which will give us more time. And so hopefully during spring break, they can get some things done.
I
But
think
somehow we
Ms.
will make
Modine.
that happen. Yeah.
It's Labrizzi. We already have a plan for that, so it, field day won't be affected.
Cool, thank you. I just didn't know if you had to make changes, if you needed any support from us on that.
No, Ms. Hanksman, because it's going to be later in the year, and there's a little higher temperatures involved, and we have students, with asthma and other medical needs. She has a plan to have most of the activities indoors, with the exception of a few stations. So, and that helps her with her rain day plan, so we can kind of run it rain or shine.
Okay, awesome.
All right, cool deal. Thank you, Principal Modine, and thanks everybody for the questions. So in the interest of time, I'm going to put the link to the meeting minutes on the chat or in the chat. If everybody can just kind of review them in the background here, we'll do kind of a quick vote at the very end to approve the meeting minutes or not from February's session. But going on to our committee updates, because we got quite a few of them. First up, I'm going to turn it over to Ruth first. And then Zaina, if you'd like to add anything to talk about the Taste of Collinswood potluck that's coming up in a couple weeks.
Hello, everybody. Potluck is coming soon. It's gonna be on Wednesday, March 27th. It's gonna be from 5 to 7. Maybe you guys have reading somewhere 5:30 to 7:30. Usually we start receiving the food at 5, and we start serving food at 5:30. And when we say 7, is because we start doing the clean up around that time. So technically both times works, but I think more officially it's gonna be 5 to 7, because some people just bring stuff and just wait for the kids to get out and park and wait a little bit to start bringing the food. Everybody have a different system, but 5 to 7 is being working very well. We are gonna still doing the food inside the multipurpose room, just in case the rain decide to visit us that day. Everybody should be eating outside in the areas, bringing chairs and blankets, to have fun like always. We only are planning to use the cafeteria tables if it's raining. We're gonna send flyers, invitations on Thursday, and I'm gonna start to share the links for the potluck between tomorrow and Thursday, okay? We are making a little changes here and there based in the experience from the last year, that it was the very particular different year from the past, because in the past we are being very successful. We have a little hiccups last year, but I think we learned from our mistakes. And we're ready to go. We can't wait to be hosting the potluck. Is one of the more fun events that I think we have. Any questions?
Any questions for Ruth or Zaina? Anything to add to that?
So I think last year was the first year that we ever ran out of food, which was not necessarily a terrible thing. Sorry. So if you're planning on bringing extra family members, we encourage, bring abuela. We love abuela, but bring extra food, because we do want everyone to be able to get to eat who shows up, all of our Collinswood families. We had a lot of friends show up, which is always great. But I mean, I don't remember running out of food except for last year. Maybe Ruth can speak to that, but we just need to make sure we bring enough for everybody to have a taste of everything.
Awesome. Thank you, Zaina. Thank you, Ruth. Any other questions regarding the potluck?
Is this an international potluck?
Yes. Who is asking that?
It was Crystal.
That was Crystal Marie. I was just asking.
Okay. Hi, Crystal. Yeah, usually it's a multicultural exchange. So everybody bring their favorite plate that they share with their families, or traditional from your country.
Okay. Okay.
We and let me give you an idea, just for the people that is new in the school, or maybe haven't joined us for this event. It is a great opportunity to meet the other families, and at the same time to exchange your traditions and your family traditions. And some people doesn't have a time to cook something, so you are welcome to buy from the store and share what is the favorite food that you like to buy if you don't have a chance to cook. But we are having a very great experience on people bringing something from home, something that they usually eat in family, and they share with their other family members. And it's being a very successful event, because it's like a for me, it's the more family event that we have because it's like free of commitment, if we can call it like that. You can sit down with any other family that you want to and just share and talk, and your kids can play around. It's more like a exchange your cultural beliefs and all that. So I hope we can see you there.
Okay, sounds good. I might have to bring an Ethiopian dish.
I'm excited.
Definitely.
Sounds good.
I'm bringing jambalaya so you can all experience Louisiana culture.
Okay, well,
Yay.
set some on the side for me. I don't like this running out stuff. I need some jambalaya.
I'm liking where this is going.
No, I feel like we should have it on somewhere. It's like bring enough so that there's seconds, because there's always somebody wants to come back for just a little half scoop extra. And when it's gone, like it's just so sad. So
I know.
bring a big, go big or go home on this one. That's my opinion.
Are you listening, Miss Modine? Big.
Yes, I am. Big.
All right. Thanks again, Ruth. Thanks again, Zaina. Looking forward to the potluck.
I got
Next
a
up,
question. Wait.
Yes.
One more thing about the potluck. Don't people have to RSVP?
Yes, we mentioned that, and that's gonna.
Okay.
Sherry
I
sent
put
the
it in
we're
the
gonna
links.
have both.
Yeah, Sherry put the links in the chat for both
I don't
RSVP
know.
and for volunteering, and Ruth is going to send out that information via flyer as well.
Sherry,
Awesome.
Sherry knows how to make magic. She
All
shared
right.
that already there.
Speaking
That was
of
Labreezy. I just took it from her parent square message.
speaking of magic, Sherry, since Abby isn't able to make it, Sherry, will you give us a quick update about book fair coming up?
Yes, we have book fair coming up. When do we have book fair coming up? The 15th to the 22nd? 15th to the 22nd. Okay. The 15th to the 22nd. We would love to have more volunteers. So I will drop that link in the chat. She's doing pretty good with volunteers, but could definitely use more. Extra plea for volunteers is also because while we have the wonderful Ms. Smith, who is taking over temporarily so that we even have a media center for the rest of this year, she's never done a book fair before. And when we don't have volunteers assigned for slots, times of day, that falls on her. And she's never done this before. So again, if anybody could sign up, if we can all come together and make sure that we have no gaps, that would be amazing. And also in that vein, just a quick plug for, can you shut that? Sorry. Just a quick plug for volunteers in the library in general. If we have anyone that remembers the good old Dewey Decimal System, actually, you don't even have to know it. The kids do a terrible job of putting their books anyways. It's usually trashed. But if you're like fairly decent, you can count and do your ABCs. We would love to have you volunteer in the library. I will drop that link in the chat too. And that is basically like you sign up for a day, you come in whenever you're free that day, you shelve some books for Ms. Smith. She would be so grateful. We do have some people who've been coming. There's an awesome kindergarten mom I just met, and I don't remember her name. I won't be too embarrassed. I don't think she's on here, but if she is, shout it out. And she's been coming like during that precious couple hours of preschool time that she has when her other kids at preschool. So volunteers, we love you. Thank you. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, to add to that, the volunteer times during the day for in-school shopping are super clutch because Ms. Smith will still have classes during this time. So the more parents and volunteers we can have during the class time to staff the book fair and take charge of that, the better and easier it'll be for her to just worry about the kids in her class at that time. All right, next up, Naomi, talk to us about nominations, Noah's Art, and cross country.
Hi, I'm going to just put all of my info here that I need to share. That did not copy. Sorry, I just have a bunch of links I was going to add in here for us. But just to start, good news is that we have, oh gosh, sorry. Okay, there's everything. Okay. So good news is that we have a full slate for nominations. So that means that we have someone, at least one person nominated for every single position for exec board for next year. So that's great news. It doesn't mean though that if you have someone that you would like to nominate that you still cannot nominate them. So our nominations form is still open until March 22nd. So I put the link in the chat. If you are thinking of someone of nominating them, you can certainly do that. And Danny, do you have those other PowerPoint slides? So thank you. So Pamela and Sherry were awesome in kind of getting this document together. You might have seen it already on the PTA website, the old version, but this has been updated. It's all of the committee chairs and the different roles and responsibilities with descriptions and different time commitments that it might include. So I would just ask if everyone could take a few minutes when they get a chance to just look at the document and see if there's a spot where it interests you, see if you have an idea for someone who might be good with that position. We're always looking for recommendations, and you can feel free to kind of recommend those people to the exec board, because I know whenever they're looking for help, it's always nice when you have someone who reaches out themselves and says, you know, I think I would be really good at this position, or I know someone who might be really good at a certain position. So please feel free to look at that. It will be here, but it will also be on the website in a few days. I think they're going to update that, so it should be there as well. Are there any questions about nominations before I move on to the next? Noah's Art? Okay, so Noah's Art, hopefully you guys saw the flyer, and I think they said they already have about 8 people signed up, so that's great. But it's a mobile art program that's going to happen every Tuesday from 8 to 8:45 a.m. It will be at Collinswood. It will run from March 19th to May 7th, not including April 2nd, which is spring break. It's $154 for the session. And I believe in the chat, I did put the phone numbers that you can call or text to sign up, or if you need more info, if you can't find the flyer on GroupMe. Are there any questions about the art program? No? Okay. And then the last thing is just that I spoke with, it's an awesome program. It's called Cross Country for Youth, and it's run by Reggie and Alvin. And Reggie is awesome. He actually was the first African-American to run a sub 4-minute mile. So that is super cool that he started this program. And he's so nice. So this is actually like his 18th season of doing this program. And if you're a middle school parent, you might actually recognize this because he said he's done it at Collinswood before. So that's awesome. It would be in the fall. The season would run from September 3rd to November 7th. It's a 10-week program. It's 90 minutes, 2 times per week. It will be about $165, but there are scholarship opportunities available. It's kind of all based on your income. So August 1st will be when they start registering for this program. So we have some time, but what we need to think about now is setting up our coaches so that they can get the training and just get all of their questions answered. So Reggie was very specific about saying it doesn't matter if you've never run ever in your life, or if you don't necessarily even like to run. The most important thing is that you like working with kids. He created this whole curriculum, both the character part of it, which is the first 30 minutes of the practice, and then the whole running component, which is the last 60 minutes of the practice. So he set it all up He said it's very easy to follow. You just have to like working with kids, and that's the most important thing. So if you are considering being a coach, that would be awesome. You can feel free to reach out to me or to the exec board and just kind of let us know. Normally, Reggie said that he does 2 different programs, like grades 3 to 5 kind of practice together and grades 6 to 8 practice in a group, both the same day, both the same time, just kind of separately. So if we could have 2 different coaches, like one for the 3 to 5 group, one for the 6 to 8 group, that would be fantastic. Yeah, there's definitely more info on that to come, but it is exciting. I'm going to see, there were a few.
So there are a couple of comments in the chat, Naomi.
Yeah, okay.
Ty mentioned that her boys participated 2 years ago. She also mentioned that there was difficulty getting enough kids that year. The previous years, there was lots of participation, but last time it was having to beg people to join in. Kind of no really, or they couldn't figure out why.
Okay. Yeah, I know Reggie said like it's great that we were meeting early because hopefully if we can start getting the word out now, hopefully we can increase the participation. But yeah, that would be great. Are there any questions about the cross country program or anything that I just rambled on about?
This is Ty again. In addition to my comments, you just reminded me that I do think that was one of the challenges. I know some schools start practice before school even begins, is what I heard. But ours out a little late. So I also remember that our boys had only practiced, I think, like a week before, or it was boys and girls. They had only practiced about a week before the first race. I don't know if it's called a race for cross country.
Yes.
But I remember Reggie saying that it'd be way better if we got folks excited about it earlier. So I think that is great that we're getting the information earlier.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for mentioning that. I had that on my little notes and I forgot that there are 4 races. So it's a 10-week program with the practices and then 4 races during the season, which is fun as well. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Naomi.
Hey, I had a quick question. No one,
Okay.
you may not know the answer, but the middle schoolers have an opportunity to do track and field each year, right? Does anybody know the details on that?
I just saw something posted in the school the other day. I can't remember what it was, but I think those have already, like the tryouts, I think they may have already passed. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the season is in progress right now.
Yeah.
So we do have several students that are traveling to a different school to participate in track and field.
Gotcha. So that's middle school only. That's a spring sport.
Correct.
Okay.
So
what
fall
we're
cross country would be a great idea.
Gotcha. Okay.
Can 6th graders, did I hear this right? During basketball season, 6th graders can't do any sports?
That's correct. That's across North Carolina in 7th and 8th grade. Participate in sports. But 6th grade can do the club, and that's what's so great about the cross country club. Because it's a way for students to be able to participate in a sporting like event without necessarily being part of a North Carolina approved sport kind of deal. So super great opportunity for the kids. The kids have always really enjoyed it. And the character portion of the program is fantastic as well.
Awesome. All right, Anne, we'll send it your way to, was there another question in there?
No, I think that was me starting to talk.
Okay. Anne, we'll kick it over to you to tell us about Collinswood Cares.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm going to go fast. Just got a couple points. First, we haven't checked in with you guys in a while. We wanted to thank everyone for their participation in the Angel Tree. It was a huge success, and it made the holidays really special for our community. Second, we like to periodically get on here and just cast our net for more participants in Collinswood Cares. And just
quick recap of what Collinswood Cares is, it's really kind of an email list that we occasionally activate to support members of our community, which can be students, their families, teachers, staff, their families. And we support those community members if they have urgent needs, or by removing any barriers, financial or otherwise, to participating in Collinswood events or programs or field trips. And these are really things that kind of fall outside of the PTA budget or can't otherwise be anticipated by the PTA. So we're kind of PTA adjacent. And then, so we meet regularly with the school counselors. They tell us about urgent needs, and they withhold any identifying information. We have no idea who they're referring to. And then we go to our email list and requests with specific asks like Angel Tree, or with requests for other help. So we would love to have you if you aren't otherwise or already participating. I think Sherry's going to drop Nikki Moore's email into the chat. Please send her an email if you're interested. She'll include you in our upcoming correspondence. And inclusion on this email list does not obligate you at any point to contribute or otherwise participate. You can choose to participate in any way that's meaningful to you or not at all. So we will be sending out an email to our list this week about the book fair. Just like in the fall and in previous years, we don't want any financial barriers to participation for our students. So look out for that email. Sign up if you haven't already. And thanks for all the ways you contribute. And let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Ann. Any questions for Ann before we kick it over to Ross? All right, Ross, let's hear about the garden club and outdoor beautification.
Sure. We had our sort of inaugural garden club event Feb 10th, I think it was, sort of before spring had sprung for sure. But I did check on a lot of our seeds, and there's actually a ton of growth. So you know, that I think that was a nice little low touch, sort of low stakes kickoff event for people to get acquainted with the concept of what we're trying to do. So that was the first step. You know, those plants that we've started, those seeds that we started, will be ready to move into their more permanent homes, which will be raised cedar garden beds that we're partnering with an Eagle Scout to build. He's probably starting to build them this week, if not next week. And they should be ready to go into those beds right in time for our spring outdoor beautification day, which is on the PTA calendar for, I think it's the 27th of April. That's a Saturday, usual time, you know, 10 or so in the morning. So that'll be a pretty special event because we'll have our you know, 8 or so garden beds stationed outside the cafeteria. I think that will really improve and kind of beautify that space, which sees a ton of activity in and out of the cafeteria, in and out of the multipurpose room, to the bus lot, to the playground. So hopefully we get a good crew out there. I think we will. If it's anything like the Feb 10th event, we'll have plenty of helping hands. We've got some other parents who are taking more leadership roles around certain components of the garden club, composting in particular, which I'm super happy to see because I have no experience with composting. So that's a good one to let more experienced folks focus on. And, you know, we've got some momentum. We have another Eagle Scout. By way of our first Eagle Scout, we have another Eagle Scout who's going to help us with some other projects, probably around composting. That'll probably take place over the summer. So that'll be something to look forward to in the summer months. So yeah, I think we're off to a good start. Got some momentum. April 27th will be the next kind of event. And in addition to, focusing on the garden beds and getting things moved in and situated the way we want them, we'll also do the basics, which is, campus cleanup. And we'll also have, I think, hopefully 2 third-party landscaping folks there, working on some other projects, which are not really like edible garden related, just more aesthetics. But we should have that all happening on the 27th. So there will be a lot of activity and a lot of opportunity for people to come out and help, or just hang out and catch up with people. So the only other thing I'll say is I'm also working on trying to make some connections with the surrounding neighborhoods that we are situated within. So that's predominantly from my research, Montclair and Madison Park, and they have their own sort of community cleanups and things like that. And I'm just thinking a little bit more long-term about how we can maybe coordinate some of our events and kind of expand our scope and expand our reach so that when we're doing cleanups around the school, we can push a little further into the surrounding neighborhoods and, just increase our impact a little bit further than just the confines of the school property. So working on that in the background.
Awesome. That all sounds great, Ross. I'm excited to see the garden beds once they're up and planted and all that.
Yeah. I think the next big piece of that space, Danny, will be hopefully an outdoor exterior mural on the side of the school. That is early stages planning wise, but we've got some of the key components. I think we have the artists that we want to use, or at least we want to sort of be our lead artist, because it oftentimes gets farmed out to multiple artists. And we have a lot of approvals to get, primarily in the CMS chain. But we're going to be working on those types of approvals over the summer. We're going to start looking at the right grants to look for, because it's a pretty hefty price tag for something of that scale. But I think that will be kind of a phase 2 or phase 3 of that garden space that we'll have to look forward to, and just continuing to make that a very pleasant and enjoyable space to be in all seasons.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ross. All right, Jamie, talk to us about the staff appreciation cart, and thanks a lot.
Hey everybody, quick shout out to everybody who has participated in the past with the staff appreciation cards. I really appreciate you. This month we have Thanks a Latte coming up, so be on the lookout for the Sign Up Genius to bring in all things coffee. Yeah, we'll have coffees and flavored syrups and different creamers, and maybe some tea for the people that don't drink coffee, and little dippers like little dunkers, donuts, biscotti, stuff like that. And then thank you to the Naomi for helping with last month's minimum day staff lunch. We have another staff lunch tomorrow. Food coming from Anderson's, which I hear is a teacher and staff favorite. So we'll be handing out some more food to our wonderful staff and making their day a little bit easier tomorrow, while the kids get to go home and they still have to stay on and keep working. All right, that's all I got.
Thank you very much, Jamie.
Danny, I would like to say something really quick.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I just want to say thank you for all the beautiful ladies. And I don't want to say too many names, but you know who you are, who are being supporting me in the transition of letting go too many of the committees that I was running before. You guys are doing amazing, and I cannot be more thankful. I have my watery eyes right now. Thank you so much.
Right back at you, Ruth. Nobody knew. I mean, maybe a handful of people knew, but I certainly didn't until this year how many amazing things you do to make our staff's lives easier and to make them feel loved, seen, and appreciated. So we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Thanks, Ruth. I've got a comment in the chat. Oh, in the chat, Zaina put the schedule for the middle school boy, middle school girls soccer teams. So if anybody wants to catch a soccer game and help support those teams. And speaking of sports, where'd Sherry go? Sherry disappeared. Sherry, talk to me about the checkers and everything else we got going on.
All right. So back in the day, with St. Patrick's Day approaching, you were probably getting ready for fun favorite things like green beer or Beerios or kegs and eggs, but we don't do that now because we're parents and we're kind of losers. But we have something cool for you to do with your family this St. Patrick's Day. That is this Sunday. We have a Charlotte checkers game in which it is a Collinswood Spirit Night. So it's $20 a ticket. I'll drop the link momentarily. If we get up to 100 tickets purchased by our Collinswood families, we will get $5 back on every ticket sold. So that's an easy at least $500. We are up to 87 tickets as of this moment. We would love to see you all there. We will all be in the same section. Oh, thank you. We'll all be in the same section, so that'll be awesome. It's a really fun event for the kids to check out. So I hope to see you all there. I will put in a brief plug that stay tuned for next year. I have a very lovely dad who is not on this call right now, but he is going to arrange for spirit nights, essentially seasonal spirit nights for Collinswood all next year. So look for, Charlotte FC, the Knights, the Checkers, the Hornets. So we can all just love getting together and celebrating sports. I had something else to talk about. What was it? We mentioned field day was moving to June. Okay. May, keep your eyes and ears peeled. The casual Collinswood family meetups. In May, we are planning to do neighborhood meetups. So if you do not know this, Collinswood actually has a wide breadth of areas where people live. So this is kudos to Tiffany Daniel and Judge Hands who brought this up. And they've been kind of looking to try and do this for some years of having various neighborhoods have a meetup. And this would be perfectly timed before summer break so that you know who lives around you and you can get together. The locations, the exact locations are not decided yet, but the areas of town will be South Park, Ballantyne. Oh, shoot. South Park, Ballantyne, Steel Creek. Thank you. And
I wasn't gonna let you forget that one, Sherry.
I know.
Exactly.
Sorry, guys. My two Steel Creekers. And then one other one. Did we decide Pineville?
Look at Pineville and Steel Creek were kind of.
No, I think we did. I gotta go look at the list. I'm not gonna lie.
Pineville could go Ballantyne or Pineville could go Steel Creek. It's
because we did like Ballantyne, like Valhalla. I don't know.
I feel like Ballantyne was combined with Pineville, perhaps.
Okay.
But
Yes, that's it. That's it.
It's still in the works, everybody. But I wanted to get it on your radars because we're going to have it somewhere cool in each area. It's not going to be all on the same day. Right now, we're trying to decide whether we're going to have it all in one weekend or have them spread out like one meetup each weekend. You do not have to live in that area to go to that area's meetup. If you are like me, I have FOMO, so I'll probably be at all of them. So please come. It'll be awesome. And you'll get to learn who lives in your area, not just who's at your bus stop. All right. I think that's all I got. I'm putting in the
Alright.
checkers link. Putting in the checkers link.
I already did that. Beat you to it.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
All right, any questions for Sherry? Or Everett with his impeccable dental hygiene?
At least he's clothed now. He wasn't earlier. I hope no one caught that. And he wants you all to know that he likes basketball. Thank you to all of our middle school basketball players that created that love of the game for him.
All right, thanks, Sherry. And Dominique, treasurer's report.
All right. I'll be quick because I know that it's getting
Five
to bedtime.
fast.
It's getting close to bedtime for a lot of our kids. So
Yeah.
our balance in the bank right now is $58,248.76. I don't know if we had it mentioned before I hopped on, but shout out to audit committee. They are, as of yesterday, we are completely caught up all the way through February. With zero discrepancies, zero issues, everything's clearing out just like it's supposed to. We already talked about the book fair coming up. I'll be there if anyone needs me for treasurer things, questions, or they just want to say hello. I will be there every morning and every afternoon to deal with the cash boxes. And then my last thing is that because NCPTA has changed kind of like some of the bylaws, thank you, Pamela, for bringing that to everyone's attention earlier. We actually can create and vote and approve our budget for next school year in our May meeting. So anyone in the PTA, but especially people who are committee chairs or leads on any of our events or any particular, causes that we have, I would really love if you could send me thoughts, opinions, budget requests, anything like that for how you want our PTA money to be spent. I would love to have any and all of that information no later than April 25th. That way I have time to construct a budget for us to consider. Again, April 25th, and feel free to shoot your shot here, dream your dreams. Let's do what we can for these kids. And that's me. That's a wrap.
Wait, you're not wrapped up. I need money.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not wrapped up.
We need to move some money.
Are we moving money? Oh, did I miss that?
Yes, we're gonna have an active VIP event, formerly like the the mother-son event. It's looking to be Sky Zone Glow Party at the end of the month.
Can I come too?
Yes. April 26th, Friday after school. Essentially, you can come anytime. The glow stuff actually starts at 8, but the deal we have is all day. And we want to move some money to have pizzas for everybody for free. And I don't know how to professionally do that like a real board person would. So I'll let other professionals take it away.
Make a motion that you have to make a motion of moving money from one line item to another line item.
I don't even know what line item. What did I say before? Dominique, take it away. Wasn't it family? If you keep going down.
I'm trying to pull it up right now. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got it on screen, Dominique, but I don't know if
Oh, sorry. I'm going through my own documents right now.
I think we were looking at moving
up to
using the family events money. There's $500.
Yep.
In there.
I see that.
And using that, or at least like 200 or 300. I've never done.
I mean, honestly, that money is not earmarked for any particular thing. That was a buffer line that we had in case we needed to create an event or we went over on another event. We don't even have to rename it or reallocate. We can just say that money is going to be for our active VIP event.
Okay.
Yeah. And that doesn't require a vote or moving money or anything.
No vote needed.
Well, I have one more question. This is more for Ty and Tiffany because they've probably been on here the longest, been here at the school. were these was the mother-son event paid for before, or was there like usually you pay, like your $20 to go to this active event but then you have free food, kind of like the dance?
Yeah, we because I ran it for a few years,
Okay.
we subsidized it. And so like we would have, I think, because we did like 3 years of the skate party. And so we had parents, I want to say it was like $15. And then if you brought like an additional child, we had you pay like whatever that full amount was. So I think it was like $8 or $9, whatever, but it did come with free food. And the budget, and then the PTA, I want to say our budget at the time was like 3,500, but it ended up increasing to 5,000 after COVID because everything increased.
Okay. Maybe we're just going to have free food this time, and when we do the budget in May, we're going to reach for the stars and ask for more.
I just wanted to add that we will probably, there's a fundraiser aspect to the Sky Zone. So we could, whatever fundraiser money that we get from that, we could put that towards the budget at the end. So there is a potential, there's
Cool.
a potential that we could either replace that line item that we took from, or we could increase it. So that's a option.
I am going to throw this out here. If we scroll, if we look just here at it's right there. Stop. Good. Right. That bottom line, fall book fair expenses. We budgeted that was going to cost us 5,000, but it only cost us 1,378. So we do have $3,000 we could reallocate. I don't know how it works for this particular group, but we do have that money. If we don't use it for the VIP active event this time around, we could maybe throw it to some other cause that we still have running, like end of the year stuff. I know people myself had shot around the idea of doing like a block party at the end of the year or whatever, but we do have that money left over. It's there. We should use it.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, and as we get closer to those events and kind of those begin to formalize, we can definitely talk about that. But yeah, it's a solid idea. Make sure we're using this money that we have in the budget. And Dominique, my ask for next year's budget is about $5,000 for audio, video, and tech equipment, so I can look and sound wonderful on these meetings.
You look amazing. What are you talking about? Look at them locks. Loving it.
All right, last one up. Is Robert Kosh still on here? I saw him jump in earlier, but I don't know if he had to jump off.
I think he is.
I'm here.
Woohoo! All right, Robert, what do we bring us home with an invest update?
Absolutely. Well, thanks for giving me some time at the end. I'm here at a work event up at the Kannapolis minor league ballpark, the Cannonballers. If you have a reason to come up here, it's a great location. Thank you to everyone who has made a personal gift to the Collinswood PTA with our Fall Invest campaign. I can never say thank you enough. What we are working on now is support from local businesses. I put my phone number in the chat. If you have an interest in helping us approach local businesses for yearly support of Collinswood PTA, we're talking about figures from $100 to $1,000. Everything from grocery stores to restaurants, and everything in between. Text me your information, we'll put you to work, and it's all about the kind of connections we have, places that, we go to these businesses on a regular basis and we can create an affinity. So thanks in advance for everybody's help.
Thank you very much, Robert. And definitely count me in on helping out with that. So just give me a shot. Let me know how I can be of assistance.
Great.
All right, that's everything on the agenda. You've got some events up here to look forward to that we've kind of come up during our talks. See a quick rundown: book fair, Spirit Night this weekend. Then we've got the potluck and the international parade and staff appreciation at the end of the month. And of course, spring break. Remember to take some pictures and send them to photos@collinswoodpta.com so we can share on social media and live vicariously through each other. Other than that, that's all I've got. Any final questions, comments, concerns?
Can I ask a quick question? It's Ty
Yeah,
on Collinswood Cares. I've been asked to be added to that list a couple of times, but I don't think I'm on the list. Can the person who runs it just double check? Because I also am not very diligent with email. However, I usually see them if I look for them, and I still didn't see it. So I just want to ask the person that add
Hey,
me.
Ty, it's Nikki Moore. I'm happy to check. I will do that right now.
Thank you. And if I'm not on it, I'll put my email in the chat real quick just so you can add.
Perfect. I will add it on, but you'll get it. And I'll send you a confirmation email just so you can confirm.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Alrighty. Last call. Any other questions?
Don't forget tomorrow's early release day.
Don't forget tomorrow's early release day. So show up, drop your kids off, and then show up to carpool about 20 minutes later to get in line or something like that. All right, folks, it's 15 past. We are over for the first time this year, I think. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I officially move to end this meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Danny?
Aye.
Danny?
Aye.
I would be remiss if I'm covering for Pamela. I think we
Aye.
have to approve the previous.
Thank you.
I unsecond my second to end the meeting.
Thanks, Russ. So
I would never be asked to help again.
Yeah, for the, let me pull up the link here.
For the meeting minutes.
Yeah, the meeting minutes. Did everybody get a chance to review the meeting minutes that that I posted in the chat?
We did.
Any questions? Anybody have kind of anything to contest with the meeting minutes from February's meeting?
No.
All right, I move to approve February's meeting minutes.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Sounds good. February meeting minutes are approved. And now for realsies this time, I move to
Sorry.
adjourn the meeting. All in
Second.
favor?
Ross, I second.
Yeah, I'm in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, y'all. Have a fantastic evening. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for everything you do. And I'll see people at the Checkers game on Saturday.
Woohoo!
Good night,
See you
y'all.
there.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.